when you talk to people all across the 5th District, and this is something I've believed for a long time, but when you talk to people, no one understands why it is that you have to balance your checkbook every month. Small business has to balance their checkbook every month. Farmer has to balance his checkbook. State government, local government, they have to balance their checkbook. Why on earth doesn't the federal government have to balance its checkbook? And friends, we need a constitutional amendment to make that happen. And I will support that. Another thing that we need in our new congressman in Washington, D.C. is somebody who understands history and understands the arrogance that's currently going on in Washington that says this. The arrogance that says that you can spend money that you don't have, you can borrow money that you'll never pay back, and that there will be no consequences. And that's what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. If you look at the $1.6 trillion in deficit spending that our Congress and our President have forced down our throats, you look at the $13 trillion in debt that we have borrowed, that we will never, those of us sitting here, will never pay that money back. Now, how is it that we have come to that place? Friends, we need a congressman who is going to reduce spending. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way that we get to where we need to in this country and avoid going the way of socialist Europe and avoid going the way of a country like Greece. That is the only way. Friends, we need job creation in the 5th District. We need job creation all across this country. And I ask you to stop and think about what Ronald Reagan did in the 80s when he took office. What was the message that he sent at that time to businesses all across the country? He said, we're going to cut your taxes, we're going to reduce regulations, and we're going to let you go to work and do what you do best. You will create jobs, you will create wealth, you will create prosperity, and that's what he did. What do we have now going on in Washington? We have a president and we have a congressman in Tom Perriello who has made it clear as a bell to businesses. He has said, we're going to raise your taxes, we're going to give you more regulations than you could ever think of, and then we'll pass a $1 trillion stimulus package and hope we create some jobs. Friends, that hasn't worked, and we need a congressman who is going to be committed to cutting taxes, reducing regulations, and getting small business back in the business of doing what it does best, and that is creating jobs, creating wealth for this country. And you will have that in mind. And finally, we have got to be serious about this health care bill. Our president and our congressman have already given it to us. So what are our options? Friends, I believe that we have got to repeal the health care bill. But if we cannot repeal it, we have got to strip the funding from the health care bill and make sure that it does not take the effect that our congressman and our president have intended. And finally, let me say this about what we need in our new 5th District congressman. We need a congressman who is going to be elected on November 2nd. He's going to go to Washington, D.C., and he's going to take that first vote. And what is the first vote going to be? The first vote is going to be for a new Speaker of the House of Representatives. Friends, I truly believe that there are more people in this country who care about the future of this country, who care about the next generation, who care about our children and our grandchildren. I believe that there are more of us than there are those who are simply consumed with getting reelected in the next election. You all represent that energy and that enthusiasm, that independence, that renewed American spirit. But we cannot win on November 2nd without your support. We need your full support. And I ask for your full support tonight. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I'm happy to answer any questions that's appropriate at this time. Thank you.